All right. Nope, that's not going to work. All right, we're going to review the mixed practice. So number 1 says, name angle 3 in 2 other ways. Well, angle 3 can also be named MXY or backwards, angle YMX. Okay, I cannot name it angle X because there are multiple ones, and I don't know why there's an extra space there. Oh, let's not put an X, that's confusing. I'm just going to put a blank. It asks 2 other ways. Name the vertex of angle 1. The vertex is the point where both rays meet. So it would be AXR, which means the vertex is point X. How many angles are in this picture? So like, I could say 1, 2, 3, but then I could say 4, 5, and then there are a total of 6. So I like putting 6. Does that make sense? Okay. And name a pair of adjacent angles. There are many different things you could say, but the thing you need to know is adjacent means next to. So I'm going to say angle AXR is next to angle RXM. And you could even say RXY. But do you see how they both share X and R, X and R? You can open it. An obtuse angle here, well, these are 70, 50, and 20. So obtuse has to be greater than 90. So you can either do AXM, because that's 120, or you could do AXY. Either one of those would work. Are angle 1 and AXM, so here's angle 1 and AXM adjacent? That would be a no because angle 1 is inside of AXM, not next to it. Oh, I just explained it. I'm not going to write it out, but you can. It needs to be next to it to be adjacent, not inside of it. Name the 2 sides of angle 2. This was like the question on your quiz. If this is angle 2 right here, the 2 sides are XR, ray XR, and ray XM. How many acute angles are shown in this picture? So there's 1, 2, 3, but also RXY, when you add those together, that's also acute. So I would say 4. But if you put 3, I don't think I'm going to ask a question like this on your test, so you don't have to worry about that. Name a pair of complementary angles. Angle AXR is 70, and complementary means 90 degrees. So the one that adds up to 90 with that would be angle MXY, because that's 20. Is there an angle bisector in this picture? Angle bisector means cutting in half. Is there anything that gets cut in half here? That would be yes. Because angle 1 is 70, but so are 2 and 3 together. So the angle bisector would be XR because it's cutting AXY in half. Okay, so XM wouldn't be an angle bisector right here because that's 50. It looks like it, right? But that's 50 and that's 20. Is that cutting it in half? No. So good question. I know it looks like it. I made it look like it on purpose, but you can't assume. You got to look at the things. And again, I know we're recording, but feel free to ask questions. All right, 11, you're using this picture. Now, remember where I always say reading instructions is one of the most important parts? Because I could go about reading this, but what am I forgetting at the very top? They're congruent. If you miss that piece of information, you're missing a lot there. So right there it tells me they're congruent. Now AOB is 4x minus 2, sorry. BOC is 5x plus 10. And COD is 2x plus 14. Okay, so how does that help me? I don't have the whole thing. What do I know? I know that they're congruent. So if I know these two are congruent, what can I do to them? Make them equal. So then I would do 4x minus 2 equals 2x plus 14. Well, what do I do with that 5x plus 10? There's nothing to do with that. That's just kind of extra information right now. So I'm going to solve it out. If I subtract 2x from both sides, and I add 2 to both sides, I get 2x equals 16. So what does x equal? 8. Well, now I know x equals 8. I can just go in and plug in. AOB was 4x minus 2, which is 30. I looked at your homework and I got that as an answer. Why is that wrong? Degrees. Don't forget your degrees. BOC is 5. There's 8 plus 10. That gives me 50 degrees. I'm going to do COD next. Well, if COD is like AOB, what should it be? 30. So 2, let's make sure that works. It works. And then last but not least, I want A to O to D. That's the whole thing. So if I want the whole thing, what am I going to have to do? Add them together. 30 plus 50 plus 30 gives me 110 degrees. Does that make sense? Okay. For this one, it says use for both of them, so I'm going to draw it again because I wrote all over that one. All right. Now this time, remember they're congruent. AOB is 4x plus 3. BOC is 7x. And the whole thing is 16x minus 1. Well, do I have all the information I need? But when I add these together, can I say 4x plus 3 plus 7x equals that? No, why not? Why? Remember, they're the same, so this is also 4x plus 3. So when I write it out, I'm going to have 4x plus 3 plus 7x plus 4x plus 3 equals 16x minus 1. Since this is the algebra, I'm just going to do this quietly. Did y'all get x equals 7? And again, I'm just plugging in. 4 plus 3 for AOB gives me 31 degrees. BOC is 7 times x, which is 49 degrees. If AOB is 31, what should COB be? And then to get everything, I can plug it in, or I can add them together. Either way, you get the same answer. Does that make sense? Do I have any questions? Can I move on? Is that under? It's raining outside? How exciting. Okay. For this one, I'm using this same picture for all of them, so I'm not going to write on them. We're just going to kind of go along. If you have questions, though, please tell me something. So for this one, first one, if PRT, so P to R to T is 63, and SRT is 56, so 63 and 56, what is the whole thing? What do I got to do? Add them together. 56 and 63 gives me 119 degrees. Don't forget your degrees on that one. Does that make sense? Okay. If PRS, so that's the whole thing, is 83, and SRT is 39, how do I find this angle up here? Subtract them. So 83 minus 39 gives me 44? Degrees. Okay, now this one changes it. How does number 15 change it? It's bisecting. So what does that mean it bisects? Cuts it in half. So what do I know about angle 1 and angle 2? Now they're going to be congruent. Before they weren't because I didn't have any information, but now they are. If PRT is 51, what is PRS? What's the whole thing? Be careful, not TRS. What's PRS? What's the whole thing? How do you do that? 51 and 51 gives me 102 degrees. What kind of angle is that? Obtuse, because it's greater than 90. Alright, this next one, again, it still bisects. Oh, still need the picture. Now this time, if I say the whole thing is 108, what is PRS and TRS? If the whole thing is 108, what do I do? Divide it in half. So what do I get for each of them? 54 degrees for both of them because they're bisects, so they're the same. Okay. Are we still using this same thing? It only says 11 to 14, but I guess it totally means 11 to 18. My bad. All right, so for this picture up here, I'm going to draw it again because alright, so sorry. P R T and S. Okay. So if PRS is the whole thing is, I'm just going to distribute that out and make it 8x plus 12. Is that cool? And then angle 1 is, again, I'm going to distribute it out, 6x plus 6. And angle 2 is 4x, minus 2. Okay. So now we got to add these two together to get that one. So I'm going to get 6x. Jesse.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm recording. No talking. Are you getting kicked out? Sorry, y'all. So then if I subtract 8x and subtract 4, I get 2x equals 8. So what does x equal? Is that what y'all got?
No.
What did I do wrong? I did something wrong. Where did I get 12 from? Oh, no, not that. It is supposed to equal 5. What did I do wrong, though? Why can I not do math right now? Y'all, I'm done. This should be 4.
Yeah.
Because it's 4. My bad. Everybody keeps interrupting me. I keep getting it wrong. Okay, again with the interruptions. Sorry, it's making me get things wrong. Okay, so that should be 10x plus 2 minus 2 minus 2. 2x equals 10, so y'all got x equals 5? Alright, much better. My bad, y'all. So now for angle 1, I'm going to go in and 5 5 plus 6. So I got 36 degrees. So if angle 1 is 36 degrees, this isn't a bisector, so I'm going to do 16 degrees. So what would the whole thing be? 52 degrees. Add them together. Or you can also plug it into that equation. Now for the next one, it's an angle, it says it bisects it. So it says PRS is bisected by RT. Alright, if SRT is x squared minus 7 and PRS is 2x plus 46, how am I going to solve this? Well, it's bisect, so I know that they're congruent, so I can make them equal. Now, whenever you have an x squared, move everything to the other side, or to one side. So you get x squared minus 2x minus 53. Oh, I'm not sure if I know this one. Let's see. Goodness gracious. What am I doing wrong? That's right. That's what's wrong. I'm like, oh man, I'm out of it right now. Okay, what did I do wrong? PRS was the entire thing, not half of it. Goodness gracious. Yeah, I wrote this in pen too. I need a nap. Okay, let's redo. I wish I could rewind on this. Too bad this is going to go live with all my bad math skills. Okay. P, R, S, and T. Okay, let's do this again. The importance of reading directions. SRT is x squared minus 7. If the whole thing is 2x plus 46, well, I know these are the same, so what's this one going to be? So would you agree that that would give me 2x squared minus 14? And that's going to equal 2x plus 46. Okay, now I have my life together. Now I'm still going to get everything on one side. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to have 2x squared minus 2x. Yep. Minus 60 equals 0. So if you've noticed, we haven't really dealt with anything that has a 2 out front. What do you notice about all of these, though? They're even. So can't I divide by 2? And what you do to one side? Well, hey, what's 0 divided by 2? 0. So then I get 1x squared minus 1x minus 30. There we go. And then I got to factor it out. It's x squared, so I'm just going to get x and x. Now, what factors of negative 30 can add up to negative 1? So I got negative 6 and 5, or negative 5 and 6. Which one of these adds up to a negative 1? Negative 6 and 5. So what does x equal here? Negative 5 and positive 6. So I'm going to write both of those. And then I need to go through and plug them in. So for angle 1, that was x squared minus 7. So I'm going to do negative 5 squared minus 7. What does that give me? 18. Now I'm going to do the same thing with my 6. And I get 29. So this one has 2 answers. Since they're both positive, I can keep both x's. If one of them were to give me a negative, I would just cross it out. Well, if angle 1 is 18 and 29, what should angle 2 be? Why? Because it's a bisector. They're the same. So then what's the whole thing? You can either plug it in right here or just add them together. What's 18 plus 18? 29 plus 29? There we go. Again, sorry for butchering that one. Okay. Ready? Get steady. The back. We're almost there. Your favorite part. All the questions you'll have are on. How do I make that go down? Are we still paused? No, we're not paused? Okay, cool. All right. 2 complementary angles. What does that mean? 90 degrees. Our ratio 4 to 5. So I'm going to have angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 90 degrees. If they have a ratio of 4 to 5, that means one is 4 times larger and one is 5 times larger. But I don't know how much larger, so I'm going to call 4x and 5x. And what did I know they equal? So it's going to be 4x plus 5x equals 90. That means 9x equals 90. So what does x equal?
10.
And if x equals 10, what does angle 1 equal? 40 degrees. What's angle 2 equal? 50 degrees. Does that make sense with the ratios? That make sense? Okay. No, that doesn't make sense? What part? So all you're going to do is take whatever the ratio is and put an x next to it. And then you just have to pay attention if it says complementary or supplementary. Okay? Next one. One angle is 20 less than 3 times its supplement. So real quick, we have 2 angles, so angle 1 and angle 2. If it's a supplement, what is it going to equal? All right, what does supplement mean? 180. So they're both going to equal 180 degrees. Pay attention, Cynthia. Watch this one. If one angle is 20 less than 3 times, how do I write that? 3 times, and it's 20 less, so it's negative 20. What's the other angle? X. I don't know what it is, so I'm calling it X. Has to equal 180. Now I just do algebra. Are you cool with me? If I add 20 to both sides, I get 4x equals 200. So what does x equal? Almost all the way, not all the way. X is going to equal what? 50, right? It wanted us to find both angles. So angle 1 is 3 times 50 minus 120. Thank you. So that gives me 130. And angle 2 was just x, which is 50. Don't forget your degrees. All right, 3 more problems and then we're done. For the first one, angle 1 is 2x plus 12. Angle 2 is 5x. What do I know these are called? Vertical angles. And because they're vertical angles, what do I know about them? They're equal. So 2x plus 12 equals 5x. And then I just solve. Subtract 2x. So I get 12 equals 3x. So what does x equal? 4. Now if x equals 4, I want to know angle 4. But in order to find angle 4, I have to know the other angles. So if x is 4, what's angle 2? What's 5 times 4? 20. So if angle 2 is 20 degrees, what's angle 4 have to be? Angle 4 down here?
160.
Why 160? What are these right here?
Straight lines.
They're a straight line. They're linear pairs, so they have to add up to what? So this would be 160. I think that was a bless you. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I do love this.
Okay. This next one, you ready for a quadratic?
No.
Why do we say no? We should be super excited. All right, here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm just copying the picture above. All right, angle 1 is x squared minus x. Angle 4 is 12x. Now, what do I know about these? They're adjacent and they equal 180. What are those called?
Supplementary angles.
You're right. A linear pair is what I was looking for, though. They are supplementary, but a linear pair is what I was looking for. Alright, so then I get x squared minus x plus 12x equals 180, because you got to add them up to equal 180. Now again, it's a quadratic. So I'm going to have to move everything to one side. So then I get x squared. Are y'all cool with me adding those together? Plus 11x minus 180 equals 0. I'm going to come off to the side over here. What multiplies to 180 to add up to 11? Do y'all know? What times what gives me 180? The big one I can think of is 10 times 18.
Yeah.
But can I do anything with 10 and 18 to make it 180? No, or to make it not 180, to make it 11? No. What about 20 times 9? 20 times 9 is 180. Can I get 11 that way? Yeah. So it's going to be 20 and 9, but I want a positive 11, so what am I going to do?
Minus the
9
9.
is negative, 20 is positive. So x equals negative 20, x equals positive 9. So I'm going to write them both in there. And now I want angle 2. Which one of these is like angle 2? Angle 1 or angle 4? Angle 1. So I'm going to use this to substitute in. Negative 20 squared minus negative 20. 420. Can that be an angle? No. So that's not realistic. Now let's do 9. 9 squared minus 9. 72. Can that be my angle? Yeah. And don't forget your degree sign. Alright, the big one y'all have been asking for. Okay, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, again, half of the battle on your test and your quiz today was just finding the equations. So, if angle 1 is 4x minus 21, angle 3 is 2x plus 3y plus 3, and angle 2 is 5x minus 3y. Ooh, this one's a big one. Go somewhere else. Okay. Alright, so I need 2 equations. Really, there's 3 that you can create here, but I need to choose 2. Personally, I always like choosing vertical angles because it's just less work in my opinion. So, do you agree that this and this will be equal? So that will be one of my equations. One of my equations will be 4x minus 21 equals 5x minus 3y plus 9. My other thing, you can choose either these two or these two as the linear pair. For me, I'm going to choose these two because it's less numbers. Are y'all cool with that? Okay, so those two add up to what? 180. Are you cool right now if I just add them real quick and make that 6x? Okay, so I'm going to make it 6x. There's 3 y's. And negative 21 plus 3 is negative 18. Are y'all following me on that? I'm adding everything, so I also added the negative 21 and the positive 3. And what is that going to equal? 180. Okay. When you get to a problem like this, you have 2 equations with x's and y's. You're going to try to get x or y by itself. Y'all agree? Okay. So, right here, I can see I can manipulate this equation to get x by itself. So I'm going to rewrite this one. 4x minus 21 equals 5x minus 3y plus 9. If I move these to this side and move the x over here, do you see how if I minus 4x, it'll get an x by itself? Okay, so I'm going to minus 4x. And then I'm going to add 3y and subtract 9. So over here, that's crossing out, that's crossing out. All I have is x by itself. And then over here, I would have 3y minus 30. Does that make sense? I really wish I would have set that up differently so y'all could have more room, but it's okay. Now, I have an x. What does x equal? 3y minus 30. I'm going to take out this x, and what am I going to replace it with? 3y minus 30. And I'm going to bring everything else down. Okay, I guess I should move that over here. So then I'm going to distribute 18y, what's that, minus 180? Plus 3y minus 18 equals 180. I'm going to combine these, so I get 21y, and then I'm going to add 18 and 180 to the other side. So that should give me 180 plus 180 plus 18, gives me 378. Are y'all following me? Are you following me? Or are you confused? Okay, do you see how I got x by itself over here? Okay, do you see how there's an x right there? I'm taking that x out, and what am I replacing it with? What it equals. And now I'm just distributing and solving. So then I'm going to divide by 21. Miss McCoy is calling me. Sorry, Miss McCoy. She's FaceTiming me. Okay, hold on. Goodness gracious. Okay. When I divided those, I got 18. X equals 18. No, y equals 18. So now that I know what y equals, can I come back to this equation over here? And if y is 18, that's going to give me my x. So 3 times 18 minus 30 gives me x equals 24. That one was complicated. Alright, make sure you know all of the vocabulary on the right-hand side. Look at your notes. My students, it would be page 9. And good luck on your test.